Hey, welcome back to Electrically Constructed. I'm Master Electrician Seth Eckel, and this is our final video in our pole box series. Alright, so up to this point we've covered straight poles, we've covered angle poles, U-poles, splices, poles out the back of the box, and we covered our entryway to entryway calculation. And now we're going to take all those rules and we're going to open up our Bluebeam, open up prints, and we're going to apply these rules to real world layouts. So get out your code book, get out a calculator, get out some scratch paper and a pencil, and let's get going. All right, guys, here's the scenario. Our foreman is really busy. He handed us a print and he asked us to size, or asked you to size the pole box. So what we're looking at here is some raceways going into some different pole boxes. We're going to focus just on this one pole box right here. All right, this one right here. We have, we're looking at it. We have 6 2.5-inch conduits entering it. We have 5 2.5 conduits turning out, plus 1 2-inch conduit turning out. And we got 2 2.5-inch conduits going straight out this way. So we want to draw this out. We also want to make a note that all the conduits have IDs on them, so that's very important because that's going to help us lay out our pole box and where we want our conduits to enter and leave. So let's grab some scratch paper. You can put the video on pause, and I would like you guys to draw this out. Put your conduits in, and when you're ready, unpause it and we'll start talking through it. Okay, so if you're ready, let's start with why we want to ID the conduits right away. So if we didn't ID the conduits and we were handed a set of prints that we didn't lay out ourselves, we wouldn't know where things are going and we might make a mistake. So we might end up doing a violation with our entryway to entryway calculation, and we might end up putting our conduits right next to each other and making more work for ourselves in the future, because that's not going to help. That's not going to work out. So we know that the distance between those entryways must be at least 6 times the largest raceway containing the same conductors. So if I had conductors coming out of here and they needed to go into this raceway, well, we'd have problems. So we know that we would have to be at least 15 inches apart. And that's clearly not going to be 15 inches apart. All right, so it's good to ID your conduits right away. That way you can plan out where everything is going, the beginning point and the end points of your conduit runs, and how they're going to enter the pole box so that you don't have violations like this one here. So if you look at it, we see that we have 2 AC coming in from our feed end and going straight out over here. Now he has two AC conduits on this side. So I don't know what's going on. He might be splicing it and shooting down both raceways. He might be coming and doing two straight poles through here. He might have a U-pole in here. I don't know. But I'm not gonna go ask him because he's busy and he asked me to size this. So I'm gonna just go with worst case scenario. I know that if this was a splice or U-pole, it'd be 2.5 times 6 plus this raceway. I don't have to worry about that because on this side we have the angle poles, and we already know that 2.5 times 6 plus the rest of these raceways will be much bigger than that calculation up here. But I'm gonna do the straight pole just to be on the safe side. So we know our straight pole calculation is going to be 8 times the largest raceway on that side of the box, and that's it. So we got 2.5 times 8 is 20. So for our height right here, or our north to south pole of this box, is going to be 20 inches unless our angle pole ends up being larger. So next thing we're going to check is our angle pole. And we see here our angle pole rule, 6 times largest raceway plus all other raceways in the same row. So we want to check our north and south. 2.5 times 6 is 15. So that takes care of our largest size raceway. We also have 5 more 2.5-inch raceways. So 2.5 times 5 is 12.5. 12.5 plus 15 equals 27.5. So 27.5 inches is going to be larger than that 20-inch that we got on the straight pole. So we're going to use the 27.5-inch measurement for this side of the pole box. All right. Now we still got to figure out this side of the pole box. So we know it's going to be angle poles because we have AA, 3AA, 3AB, 3AC, and so on. And those match up with these over here. So let's take a look here. We have our angle pole west and east. 2.5 times 6 is 15. So that takes care of our larger size raceway. Plus 2.5 times 4 for the remaining 2.5-inch raceways. Plus 2 for 2-inch raceway. So 2 plus 10 plus 15 equals 27. So now we know that this pole box needs to be at least 27 inches by 27.5 inches. So before I move on with this though, I was asked the other day, what about depth of box? Is there any rules to depth of box? So I wanted to point this out and answer that question. And the answer is that unless there's conduits leaving the back of the box, there is no depth of box code calculation for pole boxes. So the answer is that you have to use your field knowledge and your skills as an electrician to figure out what is the best depth of box that you're going to need for your pole box. And you're probably going to size your pole box larger than what you got here with the 27 and 27.5. You're not going to probably get that box. You're probably going to get something bigger. You're probably going to get something stocked on the shelf. When it comes to depth of box, you probably want to look at what you're doing in the field. Look at your raceway sizes that are entering that box. Look if you have to have multiple rows on that box. Take all that into consideration. Take into consideration that you might be trying to change elevations. Maybe you're coming in high on the box and leaving low, and you need to drop down 12 inches. Well, that's going to be a factor in what size box you get. So you're going to have to use your electrical knowledge and craftsmanship to figure that out. All right. But if you have entryways leaving the back of the box, then you have that table that we have to reference for minimum depth of box that we need. But yeah, that is the answer for that. Okay. All right, let's move on to one more pole box question here. Okay. So I got my straight pole and I got my angle poles. I drew these ones in here. I got raceways entering and leaving every side of the box here. So again, I like to start with my straight poles. So I'll let you guys pause the video here and try and figure this one out. And when you're ready, unpause it and we'll walk through it together, all right? Okay, so if you figured it out and you're ready to go, let's walk through this. So straight pole, I'm going to look at this right here. I got my 2-inch. We know that it's 8 times the largest raceway on that side of the box. So the 2-inch is the largest raceway. So all I have to do is multiply my 2-inch raceway by 8, and that gives me 16 inches. Okay, so now we know that this east and west is going to be 16 inches unless the angle poles are bigger than that. All right, so let's look at our angle pole east to west right away. All right, angle pole east to west. We have our biggest trade size is 3 inches. So 3 times 6 equals 18. And then we have to add the remaining raceways that are within the same row. So 3 plus 2 plus 1.5, 1.5, 1.25, and that comes to 9.25 inches plus 18 equals 27.25 inches. So That gives us our west and east, or east and west side of the box. That's going to be bigger than the 16 inches, so that's what we're going to use, 27.25. Now we need to figure out our north and south pole. So we got our 1.5 inch EMT up here. We have our 3-inch EMT down here. Obviously we don't have to calculate this because this is going to be bigger. So let's take a look at that. 3 times 6 equals 18, plus 3 is 21. So we have 21 inches. That gives us our answer. We have our pole box size, 27.25 inches by 21 inches. All right, so I'm going to give you guys one more challenge question here. Okay, so this one, all right, we have our conduits coming up, avoiding the wall. They're 90ing out into a pole box outside above the ceiling. We got the 3-inch raceway doing an angle pull, turning down. We got our 2.5-inch raceways going out, running down the building, going into some panels over here. So here it is. This is my challenge question for you guys. All right, I want you guys to take your time, draw it out, and try to figure it out, and put your answer in the comment. If you have questions, you can throw those in the comments too. I'll try my best to answer those. Otherwise, I am going to put my answer for this challenge question in the comments within the next week. Before the next video gets posted, I'll put my answer in the comments. So hopefully you guys can get your answers in there and your answers are correct. So just to recap everything that we talked about in the pole box series, don't just guess on your box sizes, you know, draw it out, identify your raceways, then check your straight poles, check your U-poles, check your angle poles, check your, if you have splices, and definitely check your entry to entry raceway points, because that's where a lot of things get messed up real quickly. So don't just grab the box that you have available because that's the boxes you always use. Make sure that's going to work, and think about it realistically in the field, the depth of the box, what's going to work best for you guys. If you have things that are going to be in the way, you have to change the height, the elevation of your raceway. Plan things out. It's going to save you a lot of time and money moving forward, and it's going to really set you apart from people that aren't doing it. So use your knowledge, and I hope that you guys really got some value out of this. I hope that you can take this information that you learned and start applying it to your job's plans, and make you guys more successful out in the field. All right, and in the next video we are going to be starting our raceway calculations. So that's gonna be a good one. Probably gonna want to have a code book, so if you don't have one, please purchase one. There's a lot of tables that we have to look at, a lot of rules that we have to go over for the raceway calculations. So I really look forward to doing that one. That's where this is all going to start really building together then, as we do our blueprint layouts with the raceways, the pole box sizing, the raceway sizing, dropping down to your device boxes. All right, so that's it. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Stay sharp, never stop learning, and God bless.